These, I will just do 21,
Yeah.
since we chatted so much, which was your fault. These also are Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied. It is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of kings is to search things out. I love that because God does hide things, and he reveals them at certain times. And it is the glory of kings because, frankly, they have the time, or any believer in their way to search things out. And that's why it's valuable to listen to us or anyone that has read Scripture and has a take on it. Everyone sees things that other people don't see. Everyone can see something in Scripture that others don't see. And that's just the way it is. So, okay.
Well, and everybody can take their own interpretation of a movie that a group has seen, and
Right.
each one of them will see something different in it.
Right.
And when you discuss it, then it opens you up to other thoughts
Right.
about the exact same movie. So technically, to search things out, which is what we're doing, and you look at other people's Bible studies, and you see what
Right.
fits you,
Right.
what you can call home.
Right.
So it's good that there's multiple things out there to help you learn more about God
That is true.
and other people.
That is true. As the heavens for height and the earth for depth, so the heart of kings is unsearchable. I'm not really, I guess, Take away the dross from the silver, and the smith has material for vessels. Take away the wick from the presence of the king, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Do not put yourself forward in the king's presence, or stand in the place of the great. For it is better to be told, "Come up here," than to put lower in the presence of than to be put lower in the presence of a noble. And that, the value of that I see is it's important to this extent, I think, on a practical level. Let others praise you. Let others say, "You got this, you got that, you got that." If you go around doing it yourself, how are you really going to know? People are going to say, yeah. How are you really going to know? Self-praise will not. It's like a sugar high. Wow, I'm wise. Well, maybe yes, maybe no. But anyway, that's how I do that.
Yeah, and I think it burns out quicker.
Absolutely does.
Because people are sitting there going, "Oh, well, he's constantly saying he's wise. He's constantly saying he's righteous. He's this, he's that." But in reality, if you stick around them, you will see the truth. Again,
Right.
take the wick away from the king. What does he got?
Right.
Nothing, unless he's a good person.
Right.
Then that wick burns longer.
Right. Always remember, I don't even know if they have them, but they used to have in Hollywood. Maybe this is why you had the great actors then, but we have great actors now. But anyway, talent, people that would go out looking for the raw material. And they would find, Clark Gable in an oil field, or what's her name, whatever. But they saw something in them. So, that, they had to be polished and refined by Hollywood, blah, blah, blah. But there was raw material there that was real.
Yeah.
And everyone has that raw material. This goes for leaders. This goes for actors. It goes for everybody. When a person's developing, And sometimes the family's the last to see it, you know? But the point is, someone will come along, and like I say, used to have these talent agents, and they go around, they'd see somebody, and they'd say, that person's got something. And they would bring them back, then they would go through the schools and blah, blah, blah. Better to live your life and let someone discover you.
Yes.
So let someone say, you know, there's something here. You know, now Christina could have touted herself over and over and over again, and I would just, you know. But after a while, I began to realize, that there was, before she wrote the book, something was real here. And we've had our problems, you know? I mean, it hasn't always been pretty. I was a martyr. No. Anyway, the point is, it wasn't always pretty. It was strange that we even became what we became. So the idea that it's instantaneous, no. It takes time to get to know someone and see what's really in them. You know, and you'll discover things, some good, some bad, some whatever. But the point is, some people innately have that talent. And they used to employ them in Hollywood, and they would go out and find, there was no all these actor studios and all that stuff. People were living their lives, and somebody came along and says, you know, you got something. So, okay. Okay. What your eyes have seen, do not hastily bring into court. For what you will do in the end when your neighbor puts you to shame. Argue your case with your neighbor himself, and do not reveal another's secret. Let he who hears you bring shame upon you, and your ill repute have no end. A word fitly spoken is like an apple of gold in the setting of silver. Like a gold ring of an ornament of gold is a wise reproof to a listening ear. Like the cold of snow in the time of harvest. It is faithful messenger to those who sent him. He refreshes the soul of his master. Like clouds and wind without rain is a man who boasts of gifts he does not give. This is very, very interesting. It's somewhat mixed, but it's saying to get to the root of anything, it takes different approaches. At least that's how it takes different
Because they all give you false pretension until, you can find the one who can really live up to these words and really give it to you.
Exactly.
And so it's like be aware, keep your eyes open, your ears open for people who are going to come around and try to sweep you off your feet, and they really don't mean it. There's no substance behind it.
Exactly. With patience, a ruler may be persuaded, and a soft tongue will break a bone. If you have found honey, eat only enough for you, lest you have your fill of it and vomit it. Too much of a good thing.
Exactly.
I think this speaks for itself.
Exactly.
Solomon, on this, you're fine. Let your foot be seldom in your neighbor's house, lest you have his fill of you and hate you. And that's just practical,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, he has his life. And, that's. A man who bears false witness against his neighbor is like a war club or a sword or a sharp arrow. And that is very, very true. There's nothing worse than false a false testimony.
Yeah.
You've done irreparable harm. Because the truth is, if I came in here and said blank about Christina, yeah, it can be proven false, but is it really? It always sticks. It's all, what you call something real. If I say to someone, if I go into court or to, let's say, the family, or whatever, say, blank got drunk and raped my daughter. Okay? Now, goes to court, blah, 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 and daughter, no, it's not true. But yet, it always lingers.
There's a stain.
A false accusation is, it's not true, but people wonder.
Yeah.
And so it accomplishes, it's one of the few, it's interesting. A person can be praised and people will overlook it and go on. You say something bad about someone, we'll say just to hurt them. You're lying, false accusation. It's always going to be there.
Yeah.
Always.
Because people like to grab onto fake things.
Well, it's not only that, Christina. It's for safety. It's for maybe it is.
Well,
There's
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
if it's